material has been sent in advance to the students. They come in, and the first thing could be, for instance, to give everybody a chance to think about the questions that they have about the lecture they have just listened to the day before, maybe, or the night before. And then share those together with one of their colleagues, and then discuss it, a minute or two, and then a couple of more minutes in a small group of 4 to really collect the question, answer them, and maybe get rid of a lot of questions, because the question I have may not, somebody else may have the answer, so it doesn't necessarily need to come up to the level of the professor. So there will be work being done at that level for a few minutes, and then you start harvesting those, as the professor, and say, okay, you have a dozen groups, maybe, a dozen small groups. Okay, what questions, one question that came up in your group that you would like us to address, and then you would facilitate that first, instead of just you answering. Maybe throw the question to the rest of the class. So, any comments on this? Anybody? Any thoughts? What how would you answer that question? And then when you have to, you jump in as the professor, and you say, okay, here's what I think is, or here's a story, or here's a situation, or here's whatever it is, depending on the subject that you're dealing with. And so by doing this, what you have done is you have, first of all, invited everybody to be present immediately when they come in the room, with their questions, their issues, the things that are important to them.
And their contributions too, if they have something
and
to
their
offer.
contribution in the next step when they talk with somebody else. Okay. So you have created a very much more energized kind of thing, because you have given everybody the chance to ask their question. Whereas if you are delivering a lecture and you have 20 or 30 people listening to you, and then you say, are there any questions? Well, you'll get some questions, but how many questions will never be asked? Because they will stay in the heads of the student, either because he or she's shy, or because,
scared.
Scared, or what
Or
it
they'll
look
be
like.
embarrassed, if you ask a stupid question in front of the entire class.
Exactly. I mean, whatever. So by doing this, you have created a lot of little safe spaces, for this to come out.
And also, I think I like this perspective of diversity, right? It's not just I having a conversation with a professor, but also I can also see the perspectives from many others through this process. So, they may have questions that I don't have, or they may have an answer that I don't have. So you can understand the same concept, or the same subject matter from a variety of perspectives.
So in many ways, what you're saying is a little structure such as this, which may take a few minutes, a minute for the 1 and a few minutes for the 2 and a few more minutes for the 4, provides an iterative, sifting, yet evolving of ideas, questions, and for an opportunity for those to be shared and resolved at these multiple levels before they come on to the level of the entire class. And what emerges from these different groups then provides the basis to move forward.
And you're promoting a big amount of self-discovery that takes place, horizontally, with people discussing with each other and figuring out possibly the answer to this question, or discovering themselves, the answer to their question.